Hello everyone, today we bring you a touching story about love, acceptance, and family. Ly Tu Anh, a girl who once carried many worries and insecurities, received a special gift from CEO Tung's mother, 500 million VND to build a new home before marriage. But more valuable than the money itself was the love, trust, and sincere acceptance from her future mother-in-law. From that moment on, Tu Anh didn't just gain a new house, but also a mother and a true family to love and belong to. If you enjoy meaningful and emotional stories about love and life like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss our next videos. On a warm and quiet afternoon, when the tension and misunderstandings of the past had finally faded away, CEO Tung's mother gently asked Ly Tu Anh to sit down with her for a private conversation. The atmosphere was calm, yet filled with an unspoken emotion that made Tu Anh's heart beat a little faster. She had always respected Tung's mother, but deep down, she still carried a lingering fear, afraid that she might never be fully accepted. However, everything changed in that moment. With a soft smile and kind eyes, Tung's mother slowly placed a neatly prepared envelope into Tu Anh's hands. Inside was a significant amount of money, 500 million VND. But more than its material value, it carried something far more meaningful: trust, acceptance, and love. She gently explained that this was not just financial support, but a heartfelt gift. She wanted Tu Anh to use it to build a new house, a warm and stable home where she and Tung could begin their married life with comfort and peace of mind. Her words were simple, yet they carried the weight of sincerity and care that Tu Anh could deeply feel. For a moment, Tu Anh was speechless. She looked at the envelope, then back at Tung's mother, her eyes slowly filling with tears. All the worries she had carried for so long, fear of being judged, fear of not being good enough, fear of not belonging, began to melt away. In their place came a sense of warmth she had not expected, like being embraced by a family she had long wished for. This was not just an act of generosity, it was a clear sign that she was being welcomed into the family with open arms. Tung's mother continued to speak gently, telling Tu Anh that building a home before marriage would give the young couple a stronger foundation, both emotionally and practically. She wanted them to start their journey together without unnecessary struggles, with a place they could truly call their own. To her, this was a mother's way of protecting her son and supporting the woman he loved. There was no hesitation, no doubt, only wholehearted acceptance. At that moment, Tu Anh realized that this conversation marked a turning point in her life. The distance she once felt between herself and Tung's family had quietly disappeared. In its place was a growing bond, something deeper than words could fully describe. Holding the envelope tightly, she felt not just the weight of money, but the weight of trust and responsibility, to build a happy future, to cherish this family, and to never take this love for granted. The quiet afternoon suddenly felt brighter, warmer, and filled with hope. Holding the envelope in her hands, Ly Tu Anh felt as if time had slowed down. The weight of it was not just physical, it carried emotions she had never dared to expect. Her fingers trembled slightly as she looked at it, then back at Tung's mother, her eyes already glistening with tears. For a brief moment, she struggled to find the right words, but nothing seemed enough to express what she was feeling inside. Gratitude, relief, happiness, and a deep sense of belonging all surged within her at once. In the past, Tu Anh had quietly endured many moments of doubt. She often wondered if she would ever truly be accepted by Tung's family, especially by his mother. There were nights when she lay awake, thinking about the future, unsure of where she stood or whether she would be strong enough to overcome the invisible barriers between them. Even though Tung had always reassured her, a part of her heart remained cautious, afraid of disappointment. But now, standing in front of the woman she respected so deeply, all those fears seemed distant and insignificant. Her voice finally returned, though it was soft and slightly shaken. She bowed her head respectfully and said thank you, again and again, each word carrying genuine emotion. Yet, deep down, she knew that a simple thank you could never fully convey the depth of her appreciation. This was not just a gift, it was a turning point, a moment that would stay with her forever. It was the moment she realized she was no longer standing outside the family, but had been gently welcomed inside. Tears slipped down her cheeks as she instinctively stepped closer. In a quiet, heartfelt gesture, she expressed that from this day forward, she would not only see Tung's mother as the mother of the man she loved, but as her own mother as well. It was not something she said lightly. Those words came from a place deep within her heart, built from the emotions she had held back for so long. For Tu Anh, family was not just about blood, it was about love, care, and the willingness to accept one another. Tung's mother looked at her with warmth, her expression softening even more as she saw the sincerity in Tu Anh's eyes. There was no need for grand speeches or dramatic gestures. In that simple exchange, an invisible wall had completely disappeared. What remained was a genuine connection between two people who, from that moment on, were bound not just by circumstance, but by affection and trust. Tu Anh carefully held the envelope close to her chest, as if protecting something precious. But what she was truly holding on to was not the money, it was the feeling of being loved and accepted. It gave her a new sense of strength and confidence, a belief that she could face whatever challenges lay ahead, as long as she had this family by her side. That day, something inside Tu Anh changed forever. She was no longer just a woman in love, she had become a daughter in a family that had finally opened its heart to her. From that meaningful day forward, Ly Tu Anh carried a renewed sense of purpose in her heart. The envelope she received was no longer just a gift, it became a promise, a responsibility, and a source of motivation for the future she was about to build with CEO Tung. Every thought of the new house filled her with both excitement and determination. She knew that this home would not simply be made of bricks and walls, but of love, trust, and the deep connection that had finally been formed between her and Tung's family. Together with Tung, Tu Anh began to plan their future more carefully than ever before. They spent evenings discussing ideas, sketching out what their home might look like, and imagining the life they would create inside it. It would be a place filled with laughter after long working days, a place where they could share quiet mornings and peaceful nights, and a place where every corner held a memory of their journey together. For Tu Anh, this house symbolized a fresh beginning, one that was built not from struggle alone, but from the support and blessing of someone she now proudly called mother. More than anything, Tu Anh felt a deep sense of gratitude that continued to grow stronger each day. She understood that the 500 million VND was not just financial help, it was a reflection of trust. Tung's mother believed in her, believed in their relationship, and believed that they were ready to build a life together. That belief became a quiet strength within Tu Anh, pushing her to work harder, to be more thoughtful, and to cherish everything she had been given. She wanted to prove, not through words but through actions, that this trust had been placed in the right person. As the days passed, Tu Anh also found herself growing closer to Tung's mother in ways she had never imagined before. Their conversations became warmer, more natural, and filled with genuine care. There were moments when they would talk about the house, about the future, and even about simple everyday things, like meals, traditions, and family values. In those moments, Tu Anh no longer felt like an outsider trying to fit in. Instead, she felt like a daughter who had always belonged, slowly discovering the comfort of being part of a loving family. The idea of marriage no longer felt distant or uncertain. It now carried a sense of stability and hope. With a home waiting to be built and a family standing behind them, Tu Anh and Tung's relationship grew even stronger. They were no longer just two people in love, they were partners preparing to step into a new chapter of life, supported by trust, understanding, and unconditional acceptance. In Tu Anh's heart, the meaning of home had changed forever. It was no longer just a place to live, but a space where love was nurtured and relationships were strengthened. And at the center of it all was Tung's mother, the woman who had not only given her financial support, but had also given her something far more valuable, the feeling of truly having a family.
Xin chào tất cả các khán giả của kênh Ly Tu Anh Review. Vậy là câu chuyện của chúng ta ngày hôm nay đã kết thúc tại đây. Nội dung câu chuyện hôm nay của chúng ta thì đã kể về việc đó chính là mẹ của CEO Tùng đã tặng Ly Tu Anh và CEO Tùng một số tiền rất là lớn là 500 triệu đồng để hai người có một số vốn nhỏ trước khi cưới nhau. CEO Tùng và Ly Tu Anh cảm thấy rất là vui mừng và hạnh phúc vì không những được mẹ của CEO Tùng chấp nhận mà lại còn được bà cho một số tiền hồi môn rất là lớn như thế. Mọi câu chuyện hấp dẫn về CEO Tùng và Ly Tu Anh sẽ còn được kể ở các video tiếp theo. Các bạn hãy đón xem trên kênh Ly Tu Anh Review nha. Cảm ơn các bạn rất nhiều. Xin chào và xin hẹn gặp lại các bạn vào các tập tiếp theo. Thanks for watching. Bye bye and see you tomorrow everyone.